Joel, appreciate that, and welcome all of you to the morning Bible class of the North Tampa Church of Christ. Certainly those of you who are here with us in the building, and as well as those who are online. We appreciate you being with us, and look forward to our conversation this morning. And Richard will bring the handheld mic around so people online can hear your comment. And people here in the building can hear you. There's also a handout that was in the rack in the back of the room back there. If you did not get one, if you'll raise your hand, Richard has. We got two up here and one over here, a bunch of them. And there are visitors back there. Shaq probably didn't get one. He came in the wrong door. So last week, Richard was talking about the collection of books. One step further today, he mentioned during his conversation with you last week that there was about 350, 400 years between the end of Malachi and the beginning of Matthew. So if you look at that space right there, this being the Old Testament and this is the New Testament, in between those, there's about 350 or 400 years that exists. So what happened during that period of time? And that's kind of what we're going to be getting at today a little bit. We're going to be looking at that time. And so we're going to be using the word canon a lot. And so what's the literal meaning of the word canon? And the first person that says it's a big gun, we're going to... So what does the word canon mean? Anybody have any idea? Law. The law. You're exactly right. The Greek word meant rod, and they used a rod to measure with, and the canon is the measured books of the Bible. More recently, the word has been defined as a critical standard or text. A critical standard or text. So, as applied to the Bible, the word canon has kind of a specific meaning. It's really a collection, if you will, a divinely inspired collection. And we're going to get into inspiration next week. Richard will come back with you next week. But the word canon, as applied to the Bible, is really talking about a divinely inspired collection of writings. Now, several weeks ago, Richard shared with you, and there's some of these in the back rack back there. You're welcome to pick up a copy of that. But that's how the books of the Bible are divided. So if you look at the left-hand side of that chart, you certainly see the books of the Old Testament. When we first started looking at this, we started talking about the Bible, and we discovered that the Bible was written over 1,600 years by roughly 40 to 44 different writers over a period of time. So it's really not one book. It's a collection of books, 66 of those to be exact. They were written over 1,600 years. So during a particular period of time, and it could be 1,000 years or 500 years separate from what I read when I get over here and look at this next section. So when you begin to collect these books, can you imagine the difficulty that you had in determining what goes in here and what doesn't go in here? Because this was not the only thing that was being written during Old Testament times and New Testament times. We talked about the way they hand wrote things last week. Richard shared with you the look of some of those documents that have been photographed. It wasn't the fact that you ran off 100 copies of something on your computer printer or on a press somewhere in a printing shop and distributed those things. To get something like this, you had to actually sit down and hand write it. And you didn't have any paper. You probably had skins of animals that you wrote on. Maybe you had some papyrus, which was a kind of a plant leaf type substance that the forerunner, if you will, of paper. Start reading through some. No, it was owned by certain people in the society at that time. They protected it very carefully. They shared it sparingly, and sometimes with a bit of bias that supported positions that they wanted to take religiously, politically in the world during that time. And so they kind of held on to this and only told people what they wanted them to hear.